Today I find myself in the Elmwood Cemetery here in Memphis, Tennessee. I was passing through and I have friends who have recommended this cemetery to me many times, so I had to make sure that I made this stop. Now, one of the cool thing about this cemetery is not only is it huge and old and all the stones just absolutely beautiful, but they have an audio tour. I don't have time to do the audio tour today, but I definitely want to make sure that at some point I come back here for the express purpose of being here all day long, doing the audio tour, and really diving deep into the history of this location. So the cemetery is set upon some rolling hills, trees everywhere, as you can see. There are the sounds of the traffic that is right outside the boundaries of the cemetery. But other than the car noise that kind of becomes white noise after a while, this place is very, very quiet and serene. Now, there are countless old graves here, but there are still modern day burials happening in this cemetery. As such, even though there's an audio tour and there's plaques giving the history of the location and some of the people buried here, so it is a place of interest for people such as me and tourists. There are still burials happening here, so you have to be very respectful. In fact, there is a funeral going on not too far away from me. I'm kind of going around the long way so I don't disturb anything. And as always, that's rule number 1 and 2 of Cemetery Road, is to always be safe, but to always be respectful. So, mausoleums generally pretty plain structures, 4 walls, a door, a couple of windows. This one is absolutely massive. But the thing that made me stop and take a look at it, other than the fact that it looks amazing, is the fact that the entrance has been sealed up. Completely sealed up. There is a lock on it, but the lock's obviously connected to the original doorway. But the doorway itself has been completely sealed up. That makes me wonder why. And it's because of things like that that make me go, I wonder why that is, which makes me very excited for the audio tour. So I really wish I had enough time to stick around today to take the audio tour and just spend the day here. But next time, guys, next time. That being said, if you find yourself in the Memphis, Tennessee area, and you have a couple of hours at the very least, to spend wandering around all that being said, if you find yourself in the Memphis, Tennessee area and have a few hours to spend and you want to come to the Elmwood Cemetery and check out the audio tour, I highly suggest it. Even though I haven't seen it or haven't heard it yet, I know the stories here must be awesome. One of the things about this cemetery is that it has a lot of these flower bed type burials. Now, basically they are showing you where the person was buried. They have the stone sometimes, or they have the little drapings on the front of the flower garden, if you will. And this allows, for one, you to know where they were buried. Two, people plant flowers in there, that kind of thing. But also, one of the things that it does, it's a sobering reminder, is that it gives you an idea of how old the person was that was buried there, either adult or child. And when you see small markers of children's graves, it does, as you guys know if you've watched this show a lot, sober me up a bit. It's very somber because as a father I get very emotional when I see that a lot of children have passed. But when you see these flower bed type graves and you see how small of a footprint that person leaves, and it's just so child-sized, some of them very infant-sized, it just kind of brings everything back to reality. While the stones are pretty, while the area is beautiful, we are walking amongst those who passed before us, and a lot of those times those people didn't really get much of a chance to begin with. My time here. I have spent maybe an hour and a half here and feel like I've only scratched the surface of what I can see. So until next time, when I return here and can do the audio tour and just take like 4 or 5 hours to wander around, this is where it ends. But thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this brief look at the Elmwood Cemetery here in Memphis, Tennessee. And again, if you're in town, check it out. Until next time, don't forget, be safe, be respectful. I'll see you on the next one.